and welcome to the weekend edition of National Focus. I'm Jarna Hector. Coming up, Honorable Prime Minister Skerrit talks Tropical Storm Erika 3 months later. Work begins on the construction of homes for the resettlement of Dubique, and the Honorable Education Minister promises a gap-free education system. Stay with us for details of these and other stories after the break. Thanks for staying with us. In his Independence Day address at the State Military Parade, the Honorable Prime Minister remembered Tropical Storm Erika of August 27th. In his statement, however, he did not dwell on the damage and losses, but on the way forward. That included saying thank you to the 49 countries, 10 multilateral organizations, and 52 non-governmental organizations, businesses, and countless other individuals who lent support.
Let me take this opportunity to thank all those countries, those local, national, regional, and international agencies, and above all, Dominicans at home and abroad, who responded spontaneously and urgently to us in our time of need. I can certainly say that your contribution was invaluable to the success of our recovery efforts immediately after Tropical Storm Erika. With our collective efforts, within a few weeks, Dominica was open for business.
So far, $16 million has been received in emergency donations for the recovery efforts.
These included experts from regional and international organizations, namely the Caribbean Disaster Emergency Management Agency, the Caribbean Development Bank, the United Nations Development Program, the United Nations Entity for Gender Equality and Women's Empowerment, the United Nations Children's Fund. Support was also received from the Pan-American Health Organization, the UN Food and Agriculture Organization, the World Food Program, the Red Cross, the OECS Commission, and the University of the West Indies. I wish to give the assurance to all those who have contributed to our efforts at response and now recovery and rebuilding that every dollar will be well spent and properly accounted for by this government.
Before Tropical Storm Erika, government's immediate focus was on its plans and promises, which included at least 5% economic growth in this financial period, a reduction in the unemployment level from 15 to 11% by the end of this year, and a reduction in poverty from 20 to 15% by 2020. Now, after the storm, simpler objectives are in focus.
The way forward is therefore to review what was planned against what is needed and decide on priorities within those needs. Since efforts and energies are to be concentrated on rebuilding and rehabilitation, some elements of implementation of the public sector investment program will have to be deferred.
Government has reiterated its commitment to those who were most severely affected by the storm. On Friday, GIS News took a tour of the area where the community of Dubique will be relocated. 135 persons from the community of Dubique are expected to be relocated to Center in Grand Bay. The entire community was evacuated after Tropical Storm Erika caused many to lose their homes in August. GIS News spoke with Honorable Parliamentary Representative for the Pitied Savannah constituency, Dr. Kenneth Daru. Not only is he elated that government has moved quickly to resettle the community, he also sees this as an opportunity to elevate the socio-economic status of the people of Dubique.
As we know, Dubique has been a place that has had its challenges throughout the years, apart from this vulnerability in terms of disaster built in a little corner between two rivers. Of course, it has had its socio-economic issues also. And I'm very elated and excited as a Member of Parliament for Pitied Savannah that once and for all we think this is a golden opportunity to get Dubique on par with the rest of the country. And having seen the plans for this area, I'm very confident that we are going to construct a small model community in the name of Dubique. As to what the name is going to be going forward, I guess that is pretty much will be left to be decided by the residents, whether they want to keep their name as Dubique. Right now, they will be officially a hamlet of Granby. As it pertains to employment, as a member of parliament, I've ensured I've already spoken to the contractor to ensure that that sufficient skills within the Dubique community are going to be used, and also the unskilled laborers. We've already we've already started services of a number of young men within the community who should be starting today, and I've also given the names and numbers of a number of skilled workers within the Dubique community.
Reynald Alcindor was elected by the people of Dubique as president of the Relocation and Resettlement Committee.
We just want to thank the government, the Prime Minister, Minister of Finance, the PAL rep, Dr. Daru, and everybody else who play their part in finding this good location for the community and for the residents. The people are very happy, and they're just waiting patiently for their resettlement in this area.
While they wait to be relocated, residents of Dubique are housed at the Granby Community Center. Julia Bruno is shelter manager.
As a shelter manager, it's not easy. People do not appreciate sometimes what you do for them, but you just have to keep your head high and know you are there trying to do something good for the common purpose of our people. So I just try my best to keep the people united and keep a cool head and working together with them.
Overall, the people of Dubique have expressed relief and are patiently waiting to move.
We were living in a disaster zone, and knowing that now we are no longer in a disaster zone. So things is looking up good. We are excited, can't wait to get into our new home for sure.
It's very excited because a lot of different things will be happening for us in Dubique, especially some of the single parents that did not have a home. They will find in place themselves, really relocated in a different environment, and the kids, it might be a bit easier for some of the kids. We have the basketball court. As I understood, we're going to have a playing field a bit closer, so it will be a bit different for some of us, especially some of us that were self-employed. It's like Granby is a bigger place, so some of us will get more income.
Honorable Daru says the hope is that construction will be complete by February. Meantime, the Member of Parliament for Pitied Savannah continues to solicit the patience of his constituents. Honorable Daru explained that the resettlement of Pitied Savannah will be more complex than that of Dubique. He assured residents, however, that government is doing all in its power to ensure that they are resettled as soon as possible.
The dynamics of the Pitied Savannah community is so much more different than Dubique. Much larger population, the socioeconomic characteristics of Pitied Savannah is much different than that of the Dubique community. But just to reassure them that we are doing all that's within our power, we are really working assiduously to finalize a location. As you would very well know, we have identified a few potential sites. So the technical officers on the ground are right now doing the necessary studies as it pertains to vulnerability and all of the studies before they make a final recommendation to Cabinet. In addition to this, we would have also done our own internal surveys as to feel the pulse of the people as to which of the potential locations that were mentioned that they would rather go to. And of course, the results of these surveys would be passed across to the technical committee, and of course, subsequently to Cabinet for final decision as to where they'll be relocated. So I don't really want to reach out to them because I'm pretty sure that I know that anxieties are getting a bit high. Okay, now that they've seen Dubique being relocated. Now, what about us? But I'm pretty sure that they understand that their relocation is a lot more complicated than Dubique.
300 petrol casas were donated by the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela, of which 40 were allocated to the Dubique community. The Honorable Minister for Education, Peter Seja, is promising a gap-free education system. Although Tropical Storm Erika has greatly affected the education system, the Honorable Minister says the Labour Party administration is well on its way to delivering the best education system that Dominica has ever seen. The Honorable Minister was speaking at the National Youth Rally on Monday.
Characterized by excellence. Citizens of the Commonwealth of Dominica, I am happy to report that the Ministry of Education and Human Resource Development is back. We are back to full pre-Erika form. And I want at this moment to thank the students, the teachers, the educators, and every citizen of the Commonwealth of Dominica for this great comeback. As we speak today, gaps in access do not exist at the early childhood level and at the tertiary level, but I pledge that where gaps exist today, we shall address them vigorously. We shall climb to the mountaintop again, turn dreams into reality, and enter the promised land of universal access to every Dominican.
Honorable Seja says the ministry's vision remains relevant despite the adversities.
That is why we persisted with our 1 tablet per child initiative, distributing 7,362 tablets to every secondary school, from Portsmouth Secondary in the north to Pierre Charles Secondary in the south, from the Northeast Comprehensive in the east to Isaiah Thomas Secondary in the west, to every secondary school in between, as well as to the Dominica State College. That, my friends, is why I said at Grand Bay, nothing could stop us from delivering to you your tablets. Not Danny, not Erika, not even Grace.
Honorable Seja made this pledge.
My pledge to you, therefore, on this, the 2nd day of November 2015, is to work my fingers to the bone so that universal or 100% access to education shall not stop at the primary level. The universal or 100% access to education shall not stop at the secondary level, but there shall be 100% access to early childhood education, and there shall be 100% access to tertiary education, meaning that every little boy or girl from Buetica and Pitied Savannah and every single community in this beautiful country shall have a seat at an early childhood learning center. And every little boy or girl from Buetica, Pitied Savannah, and every single community in Dominica shall have a seat at the Dominica State College.
You're watching National Focus. When we return, Community Day of Service in the North.
Introducing the Government of Dominica Internal Directory mobile app, available for download from the Google Play Store, One Mobile Market, and the Government of Dominica's website. Access to all ministries and sub-departments' phone, email and office addresses and websites. Simply select a ministry and the sub-department. You can dial directly from the app or save the numbers to your phone contacts. It's convenience at your fingertips.
Is my passport ready for pickup? Good. It really works.
Download the Government of Dominica Internal Directory mobile app today.
Welcome back. Community Day of Service on the West Coast and the North was quite busy. In Coliho, GIS News caught up with the very first worker, Alan John, who just the day before had received the Meritorious Service Award for community work.
First of all, I'm clearing up the main road, trying to make it look nice and clean. And then about 10 o'clock, we have a group of young women who will be coming and rake up the grass.
Further on, Village Council Chairman Najimi George and his team were busy clearing the park, La Place Dam. He says the area was neglected for the last few weeks as persons were distracted with restoration works after Tropical Storm Erika.
I use that for different activities. We want to host like a show, like anything we want to raise, fundraiser, And if the church needed to do some activities, they can get it.
The chairman says although Tropical Storm Erika caused a lot of damage in his community, he was able to see a rise in community spirit.
Tropical Storm Erika got most people together. People you thought that was your enemy, now together as one, you know, because everybody engaged in cleaning up. That's why we moved. Like what we was before, like the disaster that the debris for us, the amount of people that came together, I was surprised, you know, understand, because time like before, you won't see work happening so fast like that, but people, enemies, everybody come together and just do what we have to do to move forward.
There are also plans to paint the bridge on the highway and continue clearing the homes of residents who had their appliances damaged by the storm. In an area called Goldberg, these men were clearing up the recently renovated basketball court. The court, which is also a part of the playing field, was covered with several feet of debris after Tropical Storm Erika. It has taken weeks of work to get to this point. The men are hoping that by the end of Community Day of Service, the court will be fully cleared. Our next stop was Dubique.
So I'm here with Malcolm Bertrand. He is the chairman of the Dubique Village Council. Okay, so tell us exactly what's going on the beach here this morning.
Well, what we have is clean up, and the communities, the council decided with the together community to clean up the beachfront. Erika kind of gave us a beach. We don't know how long it will last, but the community like to use the sea, and we have a lot of fishermen, so we clean the beachfront to make it more presentable and more safe for the children to bathe in, as you can see.
Okay, so is this the only project that's going to take place in this community today?
No, we have a few different pockets of community members cleaning all over the place. We have a few in the valley, we have a few, well, there's in certain sections of the area where you will see people cleaning up if you just walk around. The cooperative, the fisheries cooperative in Dubique, trying to, if you look at that building right there, Casa building, the roof of that building today, so that is maybe the major project for the day.
Further up north in the Villegas community, villagers were actively working to maintain the beauty of the entrance of the community. A few years ago, Teresa George of Tobino Villegas took it upon herself to beautify the entrance to Villegas. For her, cleanup and beautification of her surroundings is an ongoing duty.
I usually take care of my flowers every day off. Every Thursday, not a usual thing, not for community day or service. Every time I'm off, I take care of my flowers.
We also caught up with more persons from the community cleaning and beautifying.
We are cleaning different sections. I'm responsible for this area. So we are cleaning, weeding and planting flowers, as you can see.
And even more work further along in Amber Villegas.
And we had a very strong support from our parrot. It was very scary. He always there for us, even though you don't see him here today, but he already come here and put things in place like what he'd like to see. And I take it from here and I move on. He really wanted to see the side of the road clean properly. And then, as I said, the overhanging trees, all what I tell you is that from him I got it, and he loved flowers. So he makes sure that he said to me that he wanted flowers planted so he could see in a month and a half that the place would be beautiful. As you could see, all the way coming to Villegas is flowers. That is what he loves, so we follow what he say.
Meanwhile, a fencing project which began at the Villegas Primary School came to a halt when the project manager was injured.
This year we have decided to actually start the fencing of the Villegas Primary School. We realize that most schools are fenced, and it's important to, to secure the building as well as the crops, and all in all, the security of the children is very critical, So today we started, but unfortunately, maybe to start on maybe not so much on a good note, that the gentleman who was supposed to be doing the technical part of it, he slid in the yard this morning, and it would look like he injured himself. So the persons who were there, the parents who were there, and well-wishers as well, villagers, we started digging some of the holes.
Residents of Lower Penfield also turned out to repair a road in their community. They felt it was priority as that part of the road had become dangerous for motorists and pedestrians. Further up, the community cleanup and beautification continued. And of course, it would not be Community Day of Service if no pot was involved.
what's going in our pot today is like lentils with dumpling and chicken. We're making one pot with a soup, one pot full oil.
Several community projects were also ongoing in Tibo. We spoke with Chairman of the Village Council, Robert Bonteef, who was hard at work on a project to restore the area known as La Sus.
After Erika, the entire place, the stones and everything, they went, and so we're trying to restore the place. La Sus is significant to the community of Tibo and even the neighboring communities because, for example, when during Erika, the tropical storm, the Wasco lost all their pipes, and therefore people did not have water at their home. So this is where they had to be coming for water to bathe and so on and so forth.
When we got to the beach in Tibo, work was already complete, but this pile of yellow bags served as evidence of what transpired on this beach. Residents of Providence in the Paybush community also turned out in large numbers to work on a village road and do some cleanup and beautification.
I must compliment the people of Providence. Providence Park has been always leading the community in terms of community day of service, and as you can see, we in Providence find ourselves today cutting the trees above the road, and as well there is a landslide. During Erika there was a landslide that came down in a path road leading to the other side, and therefore we as a community decide today is a good day to really remove the landslide.
But the turnout was not the same in Demain.
This afternoon we start with a few of us, she and I and another fella, and then I collect the others and start doing that little project, and we're enjoying ourselves. Well, we are cleaning the flowers and beautifying the road, and trying to do something for the community.
What do you think about the turnout this morning?
Well, the turnout was very poor because, as I said, it was she and I, and another fella is at the bus stop now. But then I asked this young man and my son and the clerk of the village council and her sister is down the road down there, and we're trying to do what we can.
Work was also ongoing to cover and paint the community's bus shelter. When we got to Capuchin, work was already complete. The chairman explained that residents of Clifton, Capuchin and Cocoye partnered to do some repair of the community road.
The people were early enough and large turnout also, very large turnout. Surprising, we got a very large turnout because we incorporate the other villages into Capuchin. Usually we would have done it Clifton separate, Cocoye and Capuchin, but this year, seeing that it is beautification year, and we have this project going on, so we asked the Clifton folks to come over to do this work. So the other remain in Clifton doing some planting of flowers and stuff, but we felt that this was priority for the village of Capuchin.
Coming up next, a useful tip to restore shrunken laundry. For items which have shrunk in the wash, soak in a bowl of ice water with 1 cup of hair conditioner per item. And that's all for this edition of National Focus. We always welcome your suggestions and comments. Drop us an email at gis@dominica.gov.dm or visit our website news.gov.dm. Like our Facebook page, facebook.com/GIS News Dominica, and follow our Twitter at GIS Dominica. You can also catch up on past National Focus newscasts on our GIS Dominica YouTube channel. From all of us here in the GIS News production team, I'm Jarna Hector. Thank you for watching and have a great weekend.